Hey there! Welcome to the Flute 360 podcast. I'm Dr. Heidi K. Begay, and I'm a flutist, educator, coach, and podcaster. My God-given mission is to serve you. I am passionate about guiding you, the modern-day flutist, to discover your unique voice on and off the stage. The goal of this podcast is to help you thrive, both as an artist and as a musicpreneur. Go ahead and grab some espresso, your favorite notepad, and let's get to it. Today's episode 267 is titled Healing from the Inside Out. Hey there, Flute 360er. Are you craving a space where you can start to defeat imposter syndrome and performance anxiety once and for all? If so, then I personally invite you to join us through an upcoming 5-day challenge that will not only help you boost your confidence on and off the stage, but you will be surrounded by supportive flutists as well. You don't have to endure this agonizing fear of playing in front of people anymore. You can truly let your artistic voice shine through your performances, and I can show you how to do that through my method called the 360 Empowerment, Unleashing Your Flute Story. Mark your calendars for November 13th through 17th, 2023 for an inspiring session you don't want to miss. Go to my website at HeidiKBegay.com and sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity. See you soon. Hey there, 360er. How are you, my friend? I am so ecstatic to sit down with you one-on-one and have this heart-to-heart moment with you. I love purging out new ideas and thoughts that I've been having lately straight to your earbuds. And I really hope that today's content serves you well. So this topic today, all about health, is something that I've been thinking a lot about lately. You have been pouring out your heart to me through DMs and emails, and a lot of you right now are truly suffering with some physical injuries. Whether it's related to your instrument or not, you're in physical pain. And I see you and I hear you, and I am so sorry that you are having to go through this season right now. And I empathize because this past year for me has been a whirlwind. Let me tell you what. So last September, I was in a minor car accident, but just that minor car accident really threw me for a loop. Obviously, dealing with the car, issues and insurance, the other driver, my stuff, paperwork, it was a frenzy. And then as all that paperwork starts to dwindle down and the dust starts to go to the ground, right? You start realizing some other issues that may flare up. And for me, it was specifically my neck and my back. And, it can be scary. It can be really frightening because you don't know what's happening. You're in pain and you want relief ASAP. So physical pain is not something that is new to me. I've had other seasons of pain with endometriosis and carpal tunnel. And once I started feeling the pain in my neck this past year, I was like, okay, here we go again. But it's not that easy, right? Because with physical pain comes also this spiritual and emotional turmoil as well. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes for me, just not getting a good night's rest is so aggravating. You're tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable, and you just can't. And then that adds to this vicious cycle. If you can't sleep well, then the next day you are in more pain because, you're groggy and you can't think straight. Your body is really aching even more. And it's this vicious cycle. So all of that is to say is, I see you, I hear you, and today I want to give you some hope while you're going through this season. And if you're not going through this season right now, I highly recommend that if you know of a friend or a colleague or of a student who's enduring a season of pain, feel free to share this episode with them. That is such a loving gesture that you can give them today, so that way they know they are not alone. Okay? So through this season, this particular season with healing my neck and starting to die down the inflammation around my C-spine, which is in my neck, specifically the vertebrae C2 through C5 was an issue and is an issue for me. Bulging discs, herniated discs, not fun. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but here we are, right? And the thing for me that I keep having to remind myself in this particular season, in this chapter of my life, is that there is healing, okay? That there are lessons to be learned during this time. And what can I learn from this particular chapter of my life? There's always a silver lining in tragedy. I know it is so hard to see that in the moment when you can't sleep, you can't move, you can't function like yourself, your head is spinning, you're worried, you're scared. But there are lessons to be learned, and that is something that comforts me during times like these. So, if you need more information and more research, right, along your healing journey, feel free to go back to episodes 1 through 4. These first 4 episodes were the premise, the foundational principles of my dissertation and of this podcast. So when you go back to episodes 1 through 4, though, please be gentle with me. I was a newbie podcaster. I was still finding my voice, but the content is still relevant. The research is there. The knowledge is there. And there's some really good, valuable content there to hopefully serve you well and propel you forward towards your healing goals. Now, I should say, disclaimer, before we get into some talks about food, essential oils, exercise, sleep, and all that jazz, I am not a medical doctor. So please, please, please take this information to heart, think about it, pray on it, meditate on it, and find the right practitioner to help you through this journey. Whether it is a standard medical doctor, a specialist, a holistic doctor, you need to get expert advice. Okay. But outside of seeking that professional advice and expertise, I think another thing that I want to draw your attention to is for you to do your own research. Oh my gosh, knowledge is power. The more that I dive into medical articles and blogs and books, the whole 9 yards, the better I feel about the situation, because knowledge is power. The more I know about my body, how it functions, how it operates, what it needs to thrive, I feel like I have a better hold on my injury. I feel like I am a little bit more in the driver's seat than feeling like I'm in the back seat. And the reason why I say this is because my biggest gold nugget for today is that you have to be your number one advocate when it comes to your health. You're not always going to find, unfortunately, you're not always going to find the best doctor to serve you and your needs. I have seen my fair share of doctors, much love to them, but I have seen my fair share of doctors who have brushed off my pain, who have ignored me, who have just barely given me the nuts and bolts to get by, but really didn't seek out further solutions to help me along my healing journey. So the biggest thing I can offer you is you need to really seek out a doctor who cares about you, who can devote time to you, and can hear you. I can't tell you how many times I have felt like sitting in the doctor's office and really relaying in detail what was going on. And I just felt like, oh, here's a prescription, go on your way. If that doesn't sit well with you, then you need to speak up. You are your number one advocate for your own body. If you are in pain and somebody isn't really taking it seriously, and the solutions and the steps to trying to minimize that pain is not working, then you need to speak up. Do your research, find a doctor who is in alignment with you and your goals, and they are out there. So I don't want to sound like I'm badgering all the medical doctors out there. There are some really great ones, but you may have to dig around, you may have to research, and you may have to go to a few extra appointments to find the right one for you and for your injury. So that's something that I wanted to offer you today. Now, when I hear those words, for me to be my number one advocate to the best of my ability, I rely on research. I rely on the medical research that is out there. I read doctors' blogs, articles, and topics on the exact ailment that I'm going through in order to feel confident, a little bit more confident through this particular season. So that's another gold nugget that I would love to offer you is if you can be curious, if you can be on this journey of continuous learning about yourself, your body, the anatomy of your body, how it functions, what it needs, I tell you what, you are going to feel more encouraged and more optimistic about your healing journey. And I really feel like that's where the healing begins, is for you to understand the situation, and it helps you to wrap your mind around the facts. Because when you're in pain, you can easily spiral into this deep, dark, depressive hole. I know I can. And then as I'm sliding into this awful, deep, dark, depressive hole, that's a lot of D's, I can easily spiral into the what ifs. Why is this happening to me? Feeling sorry for myself. And not that that's wrong. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad or disappointed or angry about the situation, but it doesn't solve the problem. So for me, I have to be very careful not to spiral down into that hole, because then I know it's going to take a lot of energy and effort to pull me out of it. And I would much rather use that energy and effort towards something that is actually going to serve me and help me through the pain. And for me, that's knowledge. So you don't have to go crazy about, diving into all of the medical encyclopedias out there, but just reading an article once a week, once a day, can bring you lots of comfort and encouragement. Now, I will say, before we get into some specifics, that you need to give yourself some time to heal. It takes time to repair your body. But the cool thing is, if you give your body the right ingredients, the right tools, you give it some rest, exercise, stretching, the whole 9 yards, it can and it will heal itself. That's how it's designed. It's this beautiful, breathing, living entity that will take care of itself if you give it the right tools in order to thrive. It's amazing how God has designed the body and how He has equipped us with the know-how, right? And the things that the body needs. It will ask you for those things. If you listen to your body, if you really take a second to be silent and to pause, and if you notice that you are craving X food, if you are craving X stretch, X exercise, whatever it is, it will tell you, okay? So, of course, if you're craving like McDonald's at midnight, maybe, just maybe, replace it with something that's healthier or of living food, food that's going to actually nourish your body and not deprive it of nutrients and things like that. Not to say that French fries aren't yummy, but I know that at some point it's not going to do my body any good. Okay, so I digress. We are going to dive into some specifics about food, essential oils, some exercise, and all that jazz. So here we go. Okay, so if you are in pain, if there is a disease that needs to be treated, the thing that I know is that disease is dis-ease in the body. And where there is pain, where there is flare-ups, turmoil, it is usually caused by inflammation. So if inflammation is the culprit, then we need to suppress it. So anything that you can do that is anti-inflammatory, your body is going to thank you. And one thing that is anti-inflammatory that can really help you out, and this is something that perhaps you haven't even considered, and that is essential oils. Okay, a lot of these essential oils are anti-inflammatory, so there is a slew of them out there. There are so many options. The one thing that I will offer you is sometimes these specific essential oils that can treat X disease or X pain may not be in alignment for you. Okay, so hear me out. There are a lot of different oils that will solve the same problem. So if a specific oil is listed through like drax.com and you take a whiff of it at the store and the smell is icky to you and it's not pleasant, then you don't have to use that particular oil. And I know that's something that's so random to say, but thinking about some friends, like lavender, for instance, I know a lot of my friends will see like a blog or an article say and mention all of the amazing medicinal benefits to lavender, and their nose just like cringes. And they go, ugh, I don't like the smell of lavender. Totally fine. Don't use lavender then. For me, the oil that I just cringe and my nose crinkles up when I smell it is geranium. Now, for others, geranium and that flower and that fragrance may be heavenly to you. Yay. I'm so happy for you. But I almost kind of want to like hurl when I smell geranium. So if that is the case for you, go down the list and find another flower or another fruit and its oils to help you through the healing process. Okay? You want to be bathed in fragrances that you enjoy, that uplift you, and just smell really nice to your senses. So I can't list off every oil and all of its benefits, but the oils that I have been using lately include frankincense, hyssop, it sounds like syrup, hyssop, peppermint, lavender, and rosemary. So I don't use all of them at one time. Sometimes I pair two together. Like rosemary and peppermint smell lovely together. Frankincense smells just fine on its own to my senses. Now, you don't want to use too much. This is my huge disclaimer. And for me personally, if I put some essential oils on my skin externally and I don't have anything in my stomach in terms of food, then I can kind of have like 20, 30 minutes later, a stomach ache if I've used the essential oils topically, but I'm doing it on an empty stomach. Again, every individual is going to be different, but for me, that's true for me and my body. Okay. The other thing that you want to consider is using a carrier oil, such as castor oil or coconut oil, to help apply the oils, the essential oils, to your skin. So I use probably like a dime size amount of castor oil or coconut oil, a couple drops of rosemary, a couple drops of peppermint oil. I rub that into my hands and I heat it up, okay? And then I place it on the back of my neck, the back of my shoulder blade, wherever I am experiencing pain. And you can do that in the morning after your shower and before you go to bed at nighttime. And I tell you what, these essential oils have mighty medicinal properties, okay? You want to strive to get the organic version. You do not want to get any sort of man-made product because the man-made product is going to be more like a perfume, okay? And we want to actually extract the oils from the actual plant itself, the fruit, the flower, etc. So I know it can be a little bit more expensive, but trust me, the investment is worth it. And these little essential oil bottles, they last you for a really long time, okay? So in addition to adding it to the top of your skin externally, there are some oils that you can, put perhaps in a diffuser. Breathing it in is also really beneficial. You could also add some drops to a warm bath. That's a lot of fun. Or you can put some oils if you don't want to put it onto your skin topically because you don't like how it feels, between the oil and feeling sticky with the lotion or whatever. You could rub some oils into the palm of your hands, right? Heat it up, get it activated, and then you can cup both of your hands over your nose and whiff in the oils through your nasal passage. That is extremely beneficial as well. So again, do your research, go to draxe.com, other medical blogs and websites, do your research, and I hope you find some relief through essential oils. Are you looking for the perfect flute or piccolo to take your music to the next level? Look no further than the Carolyn Nussbaum Music Company in Plano, Texas. Since 1996, we've been the go-to source for flutists of all levels with an unrivaled selection of flutes, piccolos, low flutes, and head joints from dozens of top makers. But we're more than just a music store. We are your complete resource for everything flute related, with sheet music, instrumental accessories, teaching resources, and health information all under one roof. And our in-house staff of experts is always ready to help you find exactly what you need to achieve your musical goals. At the Carolyn Nussbaum Music Company, we're committed to excellence in all aspects of our business, from our top quality products to our friendly personalized service. And with an in-house repair staff certified in all major brands, you can trust us to keep your instruments in top condition for years to come. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and events, and visit our website at fluteforyou.com to shop our extensive selection of flutes, piccolos, and more. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, the Carolyn Nussbaum Music Company is your one-stop flute shop. Moving into food. This is something that is really empowering also. To know that food can heal you from the inside out is mind-blowing to me. So we've heard this before, the old saying, you are what you eat. And the more I think about it, it really is true, okay? Kind of like, I'm thinking of other sayings that I've heard while I was a child. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, stuff like that. There's a lot of power and a lot of truth to these sayings. So food, okay? The one thing that God has put on my heart, actually, specifically in this season, within this past year of healing my neck, is to eat living food. Because you, yourself, you are a living organism, right? You need to be eating and nourishing your body with living food. So, no judgment. I am the most guiltiest of them all when it comes to junk food. But notice how much junk food is going into your body and just be curious about it. Observe this. And notice how your body feels after consuming junk food versus how it feels after eating living food. For me, when I eat living food, I feel like my body pops. Like when you stand up nice and tall, sit up nice and tall, I feel like my spine goes pop, 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 pop. And I feel like $1,000,000. I feel rejuvenated and I feel like I have tons of energy. But when I eat junk food, I feel lazy, I feel super sleepy and a little groggy. So again, no judgment, because oh my gosh, your girl loves a good, side of French fries. But if I consume that type of food that is not replenishing my body and doesn't really contain any nutrients, my body can easily become inflamed. And with that inflammation comes pain. So, talking specifically about living food, I like to eat anti-inflammatory foods. And this includes leafy dark greens, berries, fruits, quinoa, grains like quinoa, water, drink lots of water, lean poultry, fish, things like that. I try to avoid red meats and refined sugars, trans fats that are man-made, and things like that. So again, you can go back to episode 2, I believe, is the anti-inflammatory diet. Now, I'm using the word diet very loosely. Diet is like a 4-letter word. To me, it's more about your lifestyle and implementing a healthy change, again, to aid the healing of your body. So I'm not going to list off all the anti-inflammatory foods because there are a lot. So the foods that I really crave, and they are my go-to foods, include pineapple, blueberries, avocado, fish. Now, specifically salmon that is wild caught is the creme de la creme, and spinach. Whenever I eat these foods in particular, my body is like screaming, yes, yes, yes. So again, listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. And sometimes I crave the most randomest, weirdest foods that I'm like, oh, okay, I forgot that was a thing. And I give that to my body. Because if my body is thinking of a particular food color or food choice, then that means that it's craving those specific nutrients that it needs in order to thrive. So I know it sounds kind of hippie, but trust me on this one, it's a thing. And it's really cool. Lately, the other thing that God put on my heart in this particular season is that of food and preparation for cooking. So there was one night, it doesn't happen often because Eric is the cook of the house. I can be kind of lazy in this regard, but c'est la vie. So it was an odd circumstance, an odd situation that I actually was cooking one night, and good thing that I was because God put on my heart an epiphany. So I had on the island a cutting board out and I had my knife out and I was chopping up some spinach, chopping up some onions and garlic, and voila. I had this aha moment and this information was downloaded into my being in a hot second. It was the coolest thing ever. And he said to me, he said, you handling the food with your hands and you washing the food and you touching the food in order to prep it for cooking, baking, grilling, whatever, you are actually a part of the healing process even before you consume this food into your body. You are actually, by touching the garlic, the onions, whatever ingredients you're cooking with, you are actually absorbing those oils into the palm of your hands. And that in of itself is a part of the healing process as well. And I was like, that is so stinking cool. Thank you for sharing that. So be a part of the cooking process. That is healing and nurturing to your body as well. Perhaps, it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes. It doesn't have to be this big ordeal. And if cooking isn't your thing, then try to make it entertaining and fun for yourself. Listen to a podcast, jam out to some music, have the TV on in the background. And side note, I know a lot of you Flute 360 listeners actually listen to this show while you cook. And I thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that detail with me. It is so cool to hear about your life in that way. So if you are craving a yummy, fun, exciting recipe, I wanted to offer you a drink recipe that I have been craving and downing like no other. This is a drink actually that I take pictures of in Instagram and Facebook all the time. And I'm always using the hashtag like hashtag favorite drink or something like that. And it's something that I drink religiously every evening. It's something that my body is craving, and I want to make sure that I give it the foods that it needs. So if you want to, feel free to take out a pencil and paper to jot down this fun recipe. And it's like this new and improved take on the traditional lemonade drink. So what you want is to take out your blender, and these are the foods that you are grabbing at the grocery store. It includes 1 large lemon, 3 dates that are pitted, 1.5 cups of water, a few dashes of cinnamon, a piece of ginger that is peeled, about the size of your thumb, a couple dashes of vanilla extract, a scoopful of collagen, tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of honey, and blend it up. Now for the lemon, you are throwing the whole stinking fruit into the blender. I kind of cut it up and quarter it so that way it blends easier, but you are drinking everything that the lemon has to offer: the rind, the pulp, the juice, and the seeds. It is heavenly, let me tell you what. Blend it up, and the recipe that I found online says, blend it up for only 30 seconds. No. You need to blend this bad boy up for a full 3 minutes. You really need to get that lemon broken down so that way it is drinkable. Pour it over some ice, stir it up, add in a straw into your favorite cup, and voila, there you go. There is your new and improved lemonade drink. And all of the ingredients are great for you, helping the blood flow, getting nutrients to different parts of your body, helping your joints, your tendons, your muscles, and all that jazz. Okay, so another thing that I've been really doing this past year to help me with healing is physical therapy work, some great exercises for stretching and strengthening, and also dry needling. So if that's something that you want to pursue, I highly recommend that your body needs some rest, some stretches, and some strength training exercises. Great. So I think that was a lot of information thrown your way between foods and essential oils, but just know that you have to be open to some of these holistic approaches. And by you just showing up and trying these different things out to see what works well for you and for your body and for easing the pain of your discomfort is huge. By you showing up and implementing something that is going to start healing your body, that is a huge win. And as I'm wrapping up my thoughts for this episode, I want to leave you with this. And that is, please, please, please do not do this season alone. Reach out to people who care about you and who want to support you and help you. Okay? So aside from the medical doctors, the holistic doctors, reach out to other musicians who have gone through something similar to what you are going through right now. And specifically musicians who are health experts. You have amazing people and resources at your disposal if you so choose to get that support for you and for your body. So there are 3 people and their amazing work that you can check out to see if it's a good fit for you. And that includes my friends and colleagues, Angela McHouston through Music Strong, Dr. Cody Weisbach through Music Maintenance, and Austin Pansner through The Functional Musician. I really truly believe in their work, and I really love seeing their newsletters, their videos, their tips and tricks when it comes to stretching, strengthening, holistic healing, and everything in between. So I hope that today's information has served you well, and I hope that you are able to implement just one thing today. Okay, so if you have been taking notes and you're jotting down stuff with research, oils, food, other resources, and you think, oh my gosh, Heidi, oy vey, there's so much here. That's okay. You can come back. You can play this episode again. And my biggest takeaway, the biggest takeaway that I can give you is to try one new thing today. Try one new thing within the week. You do not have to implement all of this at one time. And I know through seasons of hurt, you can feel discouraged. And I want to leave you with some encouragement today. Because I know for me, at least, when I go through physical pain, oh my goodness, the emotional roller coaster and the spiritual roller coaster can be too much for one individual to handle. So if you are laying there in bed and you are just trying to get some comfort, you are tossing and turning, and you don't know why you're going through this season, just remember that my thoughts and prayers are with you. I pray over my audience every single day, and that is the God honest truth. I pray for your well-being, for your growth musically, on and off the stage, your health, and your well-being. This is the thriving life that I want for you and that I know you deserve. So when you are in that deep, dark space and you don't know which way is up or down, the thing that I want to offer you is that you can be comforted. And you know that I am a woman of faith and I try to do my very best to showcase that side to you because that is my foundation. I cannot do seasons like injury and pain alone. So if you need that best friend, if you need someone to come alongside you and comfort you during this trying time, then lean on Jesus. Lean on Christ. Because he has said in his word that he will never leave you nor forsake you. And during these dark seasons, these seasons of pain and discomfort, I am reminded that I cannot do it alone, that I have to lean in and rest upon God's wisdom and strength. So he will never leave you nor forsake you. If you call out to him and ask him for help to be your comfort and to be your shield and to be your protector, he will do that for you. And what's really cool is he does it in such unique, personalized ways. Watch him work in your life. Watch him just love on you when you need it the most. And remember, to give yourself that permission and space to heal. It's going to take time to heal, and that's okay. Be patient with the process, be patient with yourself, and seek out that knowledge and that nourishment that your body is craving. You've got this. I am so proud of you and the work that you are doing in your personal and professional life, and keep at it. And last reminder, I would love to see you at an upcoming 5-day challenge in November of 2023. If you are really seeking that 360 transformation through your health, your artistry, and your music business and or career, I am here for you. I want you to feel empowered, confident, and thriving on and off your musical stage. So if you are not already subscribed to the Flute 360 newsletter, go ahead and do that today. You want to go to my website at heidikbegay.com, and on the right-hand side, you will see the tab Subscribe. Subscribe to the mailing list so that way you can get the latest news and updates about this upcoming 5-day challenge, and you can register if this is an alignment for you. So the 5-day challenge, let me look at my calendar, is held from November 13th through 17th, 2023. And I'm going to walk you through this amazing method that I have titled 360 Empowerment, Unleashing Your Flute Story. If you are having a really hard time and you are craving that 360 transformation, both at the human level, the artistic level, and through your career, this workshop is for you. I want you to say bye-bye to performance anxiety, imposter syndrome, and I want you to feel like a confident, artistic warrior on and off your stage. Go to heidikbegay.com, sign up for the mailing list, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for listening, and be well, friends.
Let's talk about flute.